welcome to Discover the Magic Behind the Music, where you get to meet the different musicians of Celtic Woman. So, as some of you may know, I'm Tara and I have been a member of Celtic Woman for almost 5 years now. Can you believe it? And I play the violin or the fiddle in the show, and I also play a little bit of the harp here. So I thought I would just tell you a little bit about the harp and then we'll go into the fiddle. So the harp is made out of wood. It's got a wooden frame, it's got strings, and this is the soundboard here. And roughly how it works is you pluck the tight string and it vibrates, and it's the air in the sound box vibrates and everything, and it just resonates out, and that's how it creates a sound. And I'm just going to play a little bit of something now so that you can hear what a harp sounds like. So that is Brian Brew's March, and that was one of the first things that I ever learnt on the harp whenever I was a wee one. And there's an interesting story about him, because he was one of the last, if not the last, High King of Ireland, and he was a harp player. And the highest people in society actually did, often play harps, or they had their own harpist. So say the High Kings, the chieftains and lords, they would have had their own personal harpist. So there was a lot of them around. And the harp is completely intertwined with Ireland because it is our national symbol and our emblem. It is on our currency, it's on the presidential seal, and of course it is on our passports and many other things, including Guinness. But we love it, and we've claimed it as our own, and rightly so, because there's some records that go back to like the 10th century of people playing harps, maybe smaller versions, less strings and things, but that's pretty far back. And Brian Brew, who was the last High King of Ireland, he played in, I think it was the 15th century. And interestingly, his harp is the oldest harp that we have, and it's actually in Trinity College Museum, or the Trinity College Library. And you can see that harp, and that's the harp that they used as a guide, for our symbol, and you can see it. So next up, it's the fiddle. This is the violin or the fiddle. They are actually the same instrument. It just refers to a style of playing. So violin is more so referred to maybe as classical players, but fiddle is like trad and bluegrass folk music. So it's really just the style and your own preference. I can call it a violin sometimes and a fiddle other times. But it's all the same. It's the same instrument. We've got the 4 strings, G, D, A, and E. Starting with G is the lowest, thickest one, and E is the highest, thinnest string. All violins are made out of wood, same as the harp. We have this sound box in here, which is for all the air to vibrate and resonate and create the sound after the strings vibrate. And the strings, we make a sound by either plucking. So that's how all the instruments originated. Before bows were created, this is what stringed instruments were like. And then with the bow, that's the sound that we create. And that's horsehair is the hair. We've got the wood here, and we've got rosin on the horsehair, and that grips the string and makes it vibrate. And then it creates a big sound because of all the space in that sound box. And then we put the fingers on the fingerboard, which is this black thing here, and we put them on the strings, and that shortens the length of the string, and that makes the pitch go up higher. So like this. So as the string becomes shorter, the pitch goes up higher. These are our tuning pegs. Tune the instrument. We've got a little fine tuner down here with my little bling bling. Tune rest, shoulder rest, F holes. So bridge, very important, but that's roughly a violin for you. And I love my instrument. This is my beautiful Roger Hansel violin. I love it so much. I was very lucky to get this instrument a few years ago now, but it's become part of me. You know, that's often musicians, their instrument becomes like another limb. So it wouldn't be the same to play another violin. This is my baby and I love it so much. I'm going to play a little something on the violin for you now. And that is Love and Honor, which I'm sure some of you know. So what's interesting about that is that I add in some little ornamentation. So it sounds classical because I do this thing called vibrato, which is where I shake my wrist, my fingers, the whole shebang. And that's what makes that noise, because without vibrato it sounds like this. Hear the difference? But I also add in lots of traditional elements like what we call ornamentation, and that gives it more of a folky sound, so like this. So that's a slide, and then turns. So there's things like that which make it more like a fiddle and more authentic to Ireland, because really in the history of traditional fiddle, we have lots of different styles of playing all throughout Ireland. We have Sligo fiddle players, Donegal, Clare, really all over. We all have our unique sort of style of playing. Some of them use a lot of ornamentation like that, whereas say in Donegal they use more bow ornamentation like this. So there's lots of different things that make it more authentic fiddle sounding. Interestingly, there is reference to fiddles in 7th century text. Isn't that crazy? So they talk about fiddles now. We don't know if it's not going to be the fiddle as we know it today, and there wouldn't have been a bow, because the bow wasn't introduced until 11th and 12th century into Ireland. But isn't that amazing that that's how far back fiddles go? Like some shape or form, they're probably more like lutes and things and plucked, but still, that's how long they've been in Ireland. So now I'd like to just play a little bit of something that we play in the show, and we have so much fun playing this on tour and playing this for all of you. So fingers crossed, we will be back out soon and you'll hear some ornamentation. This is a real folky fiddle tune. Hope you like it.